feet.
Good evening, and welcome to Fox News. I'm your host, Ken Adams, and with me tonight is media correspondent Regina Phalange. Regina, how you doing?
Oh, I'm good, Ken.
So, Regina, tell me about this controversy over Brian Williams' alleged fabricated story and his trial.
Well, Ken, in order to fully understand the story, we have to go back to 2003, in the deserts of Iraq. Brian Williams accompanies an NBC News crew to cover the war.
Go on.
Now, Williams claims that a helicopter was shot down by an RPG. It was forced command.
And I understand we have that clip. Let's take a look.
Our colleague Brian Williams is back in Kuwait City tonight after a close call in the skies over Iraq. Brian, tell us about what you got yourself into.
Well, in the end, Tom, it did give us a glimpse of the war being fought as few have seen it. We asked the U.S. Army to take us on an air mission with them. They accepted. We knew there was risk involved. We knew we would be flying over Iraq. We discussed it. We weren't cavalier about it. We took off, and that is right about when things started to happen.
What's the weapon status? Right now it should still be locked and loaded on safe.
Indeed, just before we're able to make our drop, radio traffic makes clear this routine mission is running into trouble.
We took fire on the way in. We currently are not under fire. I say again, not under fire, but we look for some type of security. Over.
We quickly make our drop and then turn southwest. Suddenly, without knowing why, we learn we've been ordered to land in the desert. On the ground, we learned the Chinook ahead of us was almost blown out of the sky. That hole was...
Now, I don't see anything wrong with that, Regina, so what's all this controversy about?
Glad you asked, Ken. You see, just this past month, William retold the story to honor a veteran, and his story was a bit different. Now, we don't actually have this clip, but it's been removed due to copyright issues by the CBS, but we do have some of the dialogue.
I have it right here. As Williams tells, we were in some helicopters. What we didn't know was we were north of the invasion. We were the northernmost Americans in Iraq. We were going to drop some bridge portions across the Euphrates so the 3rd Infantry could cross on them. 2 of the 4 helicopters were hit by ground fire, including the one I was in, by RPG and AK-47. Well, right off the bat, I see one very major problem with Williams' story.
Exactly, Ken. The story's changed dramatically from a spectator experience to life-or-death encounter. This fabrication of the story has led to Brian Williams' suspension from NBC and a trial.
Now, I understand that you were given exclusive access to this trial and were able to record some of the events.
That's correct, Ken.
Let's watch.
Commit treason, corrupt others, steal valor from others, and abuse of high status. Thank you.
Alright, you don't have to clap.
Brian Williams is deceiving the public. Brian Williams was one of America's most trusted news reporters, but that changed when the world found out he was just a liar at heart.
Brian Williams is dishonoring the military. When we get older, we misplace our keys. We have trouble with people's names. We can't remember if the helicopter we were in crashed. Said Brian Williams after he admitted he lied on the Daily News. Comparing a helicopter crash to something as petty as losing your keys is outright disrespectful to the servicemen of our country. Brian Williams is corrupting others.
Now, Regina, are these claims by the prosecution true?
They are indeed, Ken. Brian Williams is convicted of deceiving the public, dishonoring the military, abusing and taking advantage of his status, treason, corrupting others, and stealing valor from others.
Now, that's a lot of speculation, Regina. Tell me, are these claims by the prosecution accurate?
I'm afraid they are, Ken. Brian Williams' failure to report accurately has been a major breach of the public's trust and has angered many.
How so?
Some of the veterans wounded or who have experienced the downing of the helicopter are angry at Williams' report and factual inaccuracy.
Now, I can clearly see the validity of the prosecution's arguments, but what of the defense? What were their charges?
Now, the majority of the defense's charges relied on the incident being a mistake, a slip of the tongue, and not a big deal. But it is, Ken. Let's watch the trial.
Williams suffers from false memory syndrome, which causes his views on the events to be corrupted with the false ones spread by NBC. He simply read what was scripted for him on the teleprompter without truly recognizing what he was.
it seems to me, Regina, that being shot at in a helicopter isn't something you just forget, even after a dozen years. An experience like that stays with you. So Williams must have known he was making this up.
Exactly, Ken.
So is this what journalism has come to? Lies and fabricated stories to gain viewers?
For Brian Williams, it seems that way, and this incident has opened up a whole new discussion about the validity of other stories.
Such as?
Such as when he saw a dead body floating through the French Quarter after Hurricane Katrina, or when he had to fend off gangs in the Ritz Hotel. This incident of the betrayal of the publics may just be the tip of the iceberg, and people are understandably alarmed.
I understand you went out and interviewed some individuals about that event, is that right? And they are angry?
That's right, Ken. Like when I spoke to the local youth, Matt Slade. So I'm here with local youth Matt Slade. So Matt, tell us, how do you feel about the Brian Williams scandal?
Well, he's a scoundrel. He's a liar. I don't want that guy reporting my news. I want something truthful, and he's a liar. He's just a liar.
So is this a big deal, Regina, or are people making a bunch of fuss out of not a lot?
It's a very big deal, Ken. Brian Williams has lied and dishonored the servicemen involved in the actual attack. People don't trust him, and with good reason. He's a lying, cheating scoundrel, and he deserves what's coming to him.
So Regina, do you think that this incident is something that could potentially end Williams' career?
Oh, absolutely. Williams has told lies again and again simply to earn higher ratings. This string of lies he's been telling for years has finally caught up to him, and it will be the end.
So this trial is justified?
Oh, it definitely is. It's time to end this dishonesty in journalism.
Well, Regina, thanks for being here and shedding some much-needed insight into this trial and controversy surrounding Brian Williams.
My pleasure, Ken.
That's Regina Phalange, our media correspondent. Up next, we'll investigate claims that President Barack Obama was not only not born in this country, but on Earth at all. That's Nightly Box News. I'm Kat Adams. Good night.